Hello! In today's video we're going to be talking about why I think you need to start journaling and how journaling has changed my life in this past year. Let's get into it. The first reason why I think you should start journaling, or maybe adjust what you're doing if you're already journaling, is that it helps give you a sense of perspective. Growing up, I love writing, I love journaling. Writing is my preferred way of communicating. I'm still getting used to this, talking and being articulate. Writing has always been something that I've loved doing, and journaling is something I've loved doing. But the thing that has changed in the past year is that I've started doing more structured writing and structured journaling. So asking myself a question, having more of a format using prompts as opposed to just free writing, which is basically what I did before, where I had my journal and I would write whatever thoughts, feelings, anything that was happening, stressing me out, would all go, you know, in a Dear Diary-esque kind of way. It would all get written down in my journal. But this last year, instead, it's been more structured. And this is where the perspective comes in. One of the questions that I ask myself every day when I journal, one of the things that I respond to, is I ask myself, what went well today? And what didn't go so well today. This gives me perspective because I find that at the end of the day, say I've had a good morning, it was really positive, maybe I went for a lovely walk, beautiful weather, I've had some nice food, the day is going well, but then something happens in the evening, suddenly my energy drops or something just shifts and I end up having a quite bad evening and just feeling emotional, feeling drained. Because I'm in that bad mood at the end of the day, I'll think, oh, today was pretty bad, wasn't it? I wasn't productive, today was a bit of a write-off. But because I journal every evening, as a rule, I have to answer that first question, what went well today? I'm in that state of, oh, nothing went well, you know, it was a rubbish day. And then I think, oh, hang on. Oh yeah, it was sunny earlier when I went for a walk. I made myself a nice lunch. Oh yeah, like I was having a pretty good day up to the point where everything changed. I find it so easy to get caught up in my emotions and in like the most recent thing that has happened, which is great if I had a good evening, because then I'll have loads to write in the what went well today. But if I've had a bad evening, I can end up stewing in that. But journaling brings me back. It gives me a more wholesome view of the day because I have to answer that question, what went well today? And then I'm forced to remember, oh yeah, no, I did have a good day. So that's one reason why journaling has really helped me, because it gives me a sense of perspective. The second reason that I think you should start journaling is that it will help you acknowledge your feelings and identify your feelings. This is something that is new to me again, but the way that I journal means that I first address how I've been feeling today, and it can be quite interesting what comes up. The format that I use to journal, I took in part from this absolutely beautiful journal that my cousin sent me about a year ago. Yeah, he sent it to me in February. This was sort of at the start of my journey dealing with everything and starting to get better and really get my life back on track. It's a 6-month journal and I've completed it, and I'd never come across anything like this before because, as I said, I preferred doing free writing, just writing whatever I wanted. So this is very structured. I do want to show you, but I have filled it all in, so it is quite personal stuff in here. I will find a blank one and put that footage in here so you can look at it. But the first thing is, it gives you a space to write an affirmation for the day, and then it gives you check boxes with feelings. So today I feel feelings are happy, sad, frustrated, angry, annoyed, etc. In my version of this now, because sadly I have finished this beautiful journal, I've filled it all in, it is done. I just use this cool notebook. It's Lord of the Rings themed. I love it. So it's just lined pages, no format. It's not a specific journal, it's just a notebook. But I've made my own format based on this. And the first thing that I fill in is, today I feel. I'm surprised sometimes by what comes up. And then, as I said, I ask myself what went well today, what didn't go so well today. And that leads us on to the next reason I think you should start journaling, is that it will help you practice gratitude. The second part, so I do today I feel, and I write down any feelings that I've had today. Sometimes they're completely contradictory. I can have angry and content on there. I can have happy and sad, just the whole range of emotions throughout the day. Anything that I felt, I write it down. And the second category I have is, today I am grateful for, and I list out things that I'm grateful for. And this is again a practice that I got from this original journal. It's so beautiful, this book. This was such a lovely gift. It was such a surprise when he sent it to me. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so lovely. It's got like this lovely, I don't think it is leather, but it's just this lovely texture, and it's just so beautiful and it's so nicely laid out. Absolutely love it. If you know anyone who loves journaling, this makes a great gift. It's from Mindful Champs, but I'll leave a link to it in the description below if you want to check it out. It is honestly amazing. And yes, it gives you the space today I'm grateful for. So I always write that, and practicing gratitude has been such a game-changing thing for me this year. I not only write in my journal a gratitude list, but I also have a separate notebook for just gratitude lists. This is just a cute little notebook that a friend of mine got me. It's a 365 a page a day journal. Each day has a page, and it's only, you can see, it's only a small thing, but this is my gratitude, all goes in here. And the reason I think you should add a gratitude list if you already journal, or why you should take up journaling and include gratitude, is that it really will subtly change your mindset. If you continuously do this day after day, you will suddenly see a shift in the way that you notice the world and in the way that you are able to deal with stressful situations or unexpected things. You will just all of a sudden have a different perspective, because you will always be looking for something to be grateful for. Not only because you're like, oh, I'd like to write it on my list, but because it will become a habit to you. It's so cool. Like I'm so glad that this has become such a normal part of my routine, because it has benefited me so much. Another reason to start journaling is that you can practice gratitude, and gratitude will change your life. You're basically reprogramming your mind to see the good in situations. Another reason why I think journaling is so brilliant and you should try it is that it will help you plan your life and set your intentions. Definitely helps me plan. I have a new journal from the same people. It's my cousin and my cousin-in-law who got me this beautiful journal last year. For Christmas, they got me this lovely self-care, my daily self-care journal. I was never someone who journaled in the morning. This is a daily reflection journal, so I would use this at the end of the day and reflect on my day. Whereas this, there is an option to start off your day. So here in the morning you do my daily intentions and my daily self-care, and then in the evening you think about setting your intentions for the next day. So journaling in the morning, and this only literally takes a few minutes, like even only a minute. You're just setting an intention for the day. So let me look at my past days, what I've said. I will put myself and my self-care first. I will catch myself whenever I think I don't have time for that. I should and will always make time for self-care. That's quite an ambitious one. That reflexive time in the morning where I'm just thinking, oh, what will I do today? That helps me plan, it helps me focus my mind, what I want to do today, or at least just what kind of attitude that I want to approach the day with, because it is so easy to just get up and go, or I find myself doing this all the time, get up and scrolling on your phone. I'm guilty of this in the morning, but having a journaling practice means that you can plan your day and just sort of set your intentions so that you start your day off right. So that's another reason I would really recommend journaling. Another reason why I think journaling will really benefit you is that it will help you reflect on your day. Definitely helps me do this. I've talked about this in that I have my daily reflection journal, but this really was just the start and got me into the habit of journaling every evening. Alongside getting perspective, practicing gratitude, planning, all of the things we've already talked about, using a journal helps me reflect on my life and how I'm working to achieve my goals. I do a weekly review and a monthly review. During this time I write down highlights of the week, what challenges I faced, what my mood has been, if there's been any ups and downs, and also I set goals or intentions for the next week or the next month. My intentions this week: I will show up as my ideal version of myself every day. I will eat multicolored meals. I'm trying to eat more vegetables and I love eating, vibrant different colors. I will stay sober. I will take deep breaths. I will practice gratitude, pray, and keep things in perspective. If you're feeling intimidated when I'm using these words like planning or setting intentions or journaling every night or weekly review, monthly review, I know it can feel quite intimidating because it feels like I'm saying a lot of things and it's like, oh my gosh, that sounds like admin, or that sounds like just something that you don't have time for. I only spend 10 minutes every day doing this. So I know it seems like I'm showing all of these different books, but literally my routine now is in the morning it's just a line. So my intentions for the day, set my intentions. I have the intentions for tomorrow, and also my self-care. So self-care, shower, do a face mask, change your bed sheets, clean your room, go for a walk, take time for yourself to read a book or call someone you care about. Journaling itself, self-care. So I do that quickly in the morning, and then in the evening I'm bringing more books in. I do, as we said, this is the one that takes the most time. I just do a page every day. I also fill in this just as a gratitude list, a page a day, and I have a habit tracker in here. I'm sorry if it seems intimidating. It literally is 10 minutes every day. The one that takes the time is this, probably spent 7 minutes doing this. And then I've got this one, which is just like a free-form journal. It's just blank. I don't write in here every day. This is just if I have any thoughts or any emotions that I don't really have space for in here. Again, it sounds like a lot and you're probably like, oh my gosh, but I found it really helpful. And as I say, planning my goals is another reason why journaling has helped me so much, and the habit tracker comes in here. I basically just do like a star chart of my goals. So I've got self-care goals in here, things like make my bed, do a certain amount of steps, do a devotional. With the weekly and monthly review, that again, as I mentioned earlier, helps to bring perspective, because if I've had a rough end of the week, a rough Saturday or Sunday, I might just be thinking only about those bad days and be like, oh, that was a really tough week, I did not enjoy that at all. But when I decide to do my weekly review and I think what are my highlights of this week, maybe think of things that happened, or I go back over the days and look at what happened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I suddenly realise, oh my gosh, yeah, I had such a lovely week. They're all sort of linked. Planning, perspective, journaling is really helpful for me, and I'm so glad that it's something that I'm able to do, able to make time for, and have decided to make time for. And I would really encourage you to do the same and make time for this stuff. It's really cool. To me, it feels great to have time set aside to do this, which leads us nicely on to the next point, which is that I believe journaling is a form of self-care. I mean, aside from the fact that this is actually a self-care journal, which is sort of combining all of my ideas, to me it does feel like self-care because I am giving myself 10 minutes every day just to fill in some stuff which gives me some perspective and reminds me to stay grateful and grounded, reminds me of all the good things I have. And normally when I journal in the evening, I will put on some nice background music. I like the Harry Potter soundtrack or the Lord of the Rings soundtrack, maybe some Charlie Brown soundtrack, I quite like that as well. Vince Guaraldi, I think, is the guy who did that music. I've also quite actually been getting into I think the soundtrack is Tibetan Bowls on Spotify. I will link it down below. I wanted sort of like a mindfulness soundtrack the other day because I was fed up with all of my soundtracks because I've been listening to them like non-stop while I'm working. So I was like, I want to switch up a bit, and it was Tibetan Bowls, I think. It was like, oh my gosh, lovely. I felt like I was in like a yoga studio or something. It was very nice. Music to me is a form of self-care as well. Putting on music, I love putting on some songs and just dancing around. Something joyful to do and gets me moving and gives me like a burst of energy. Again, if I've been sat down working, not only is then the journaling itself self-care, but having that nice relaxing music kind of gets me in like a nice comfortable self-care mode, self-care vibes. I hope it's come through. I really love writing, I really love journaling, and it has been so fundamental really in helping me like get my mental health back on track. And I've been very nervous to make this video because I was like, I want to do it well because it's such an important topic. I mean, I guess if I haven't done it well, I can always come back and revisit this at another point. You don't need, I mean, it's great if you have like a fancy notebook or like this nice, I love it so much. Otherwise, buy yourself like a spiral notebook and just do a page a day. Write it on your computer if you prefer that. I think the point isn't the format. I mean, it's great to have a nice book, but the point is to really get in touch with what you're feeling or how you're thinking and try and spot any negative thought patterns or any repetitive things that keep cropping up that you need to deal with. I think that's the more important thing. I will leave links for both this beautiful notebook and also this, the one that got me started on journaling again. Oh my gosh, this was just such a thoughtful and brilliant gift for the time in my life that I was at. It was exactly what I needed. It helped me so much. It's so cool as well. At the end of every week you do your weekly review, but it also gives you end of the week self-discovery questions. So like, for example, so this can be like a prompt for you if you want to start journaling. Have you ever stopped to question the origins of your conditioned thought patterns and behaviours? So I will leave links to these if you want to check them out. I hope this has encouraged you to start journaling or given you a reason to carry on if you've maybe been neglecting it a bit. It is something that I can fall out of the habit of as well. I'm like, oh, is it necessary? Do I have to do that? But whenever I do it, it always makes me feel better. Always. It's always worth doing, even if I'm really tired and I'm like, but I just want to go to sleep. It's like, no, do your journaling. Always helps me. Thank you so much for watching. God bless, and I will see you in the next one.